Next up is Bandit, Braden Siders.
Braden, start me with the defensive scheme you guys played this past week. When Zach presents ideas to you, do you sort of look at him and go, well, that's a little crazy, and I'm going to put my hand down and play defensive end at 220? What goes through your mind when you see some of this stuff?
You know, it's when I first heard we were doing that, we kind of knew we were doing that in the summer. I wasn't too sure how it worked, and then in the game I realized he knew what he was talking about for sure. He knew that quarterback struggled with that, so it was smart by him for sure.
Do you ever get overwhelmed when you have to put, like I said, you're playing defensive end at times, a true defensive end, so the size that you're looking across at, how did you handle that?
My biggest thing was getting off the ball, try to use my speed as an advantage. I'm a little used to it from the Wyoming days. I had to do some of that there too. But yeah, I'd say speed. Try to use my advantages.
Issues that you had with the Ohio University quarterback similar to what you're going to see Saturday?
Completely. We gotta tackle good and keep him in the pocket for sure.
You able to use anything from the film the last couple of weeks and have that be a little bit of an advantage to you going into this game rather than if it was the first time?
Completely. I would say they're very similar quarterbacks for sure. As far as the threat of the running and everything, so yeah, we gotta learn from that tape.
Zach said a lot of eye candy, a lot of motion, a lot of movements. So they're trying to get your eyes in places they're not supposed to be. How do you combat that?
Communication and executing whatever he calls, and you know, if they motion, don't freak out about it. Just do your job.
One other thing about these guys I think is unique. The quarterback and their two running backs are about the same size. And they use single-digit numbers. And you know, is there anything unique about that? And big guys too, 215, 220.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot to get them down.
For sure. We got to rally the ball, definitely. And there's some trickery within that too. You know, they'll shift the quarterback over and all that. So yeah, just got to rally the ball.
What stood out to you so far about the state of West Virginia? I mean, obviously you come from Wyoming, which is also a mountain state, but being in West Virginia, what stood out to you about here?
I'd say the passion of the fans is remarkable for sure.
What can you say about that atmosphere? Obviously on defense, sometimes you guys feed off of that, but what was that atmosphere like, especially coming down the stretch from fourth quarter into overtime?
That was something I've never experienced. That was one of the best days of my life. That was amazing, for sure. Couldn't hear a thing, not a single thing.
As a veteran college football player, I mean, obviously you've played in a lot of emotional games like you did this past Saturday, but trying to put that game down in your back pocket and move forward against a team like Kansas on the road, how do you kind of do that, and what's your message to your younger guys as well?
I think it's a maturity thing for sure. You got to be mature teams. You know, it's great. We celebrated it, but we got to move on. Focus on KU.
One more on Kansas' scheme. Have you played any team that does the things that they do to try to confuse you and get you out of position? And
Not to this extent.
not to this extent.
Yeah, not to this extent. They do a lot of motions and a lot of different stuff for sure.
Getting moved around like you did a lot and doing all these different things. Do you like that because you're going against different people, different situations? Does it, help you to not kind of get stale doing the same thing?
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it, and I think it makes me a better football player being able to learn some of those techniques, and I think it carries over to even playing a wide nine or, so it's good stuff.
Was there one time you even lined up at nose?
No.
So were you not in there one?
I would say me at 3 tech facing into the A gap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And obviously that's not, your primary thing, but again, that difference. You like doing that?
I had fun. I had fun doing it. I did. I'll do whatever they ask.
How have you kind of seen yourself, get comfortable in Coach Alley's system? How have you kind of seen yourself gel and move forward in it?
I'd say the importance of just doing your job, something that I've learned for sure here. It's everyone does their job. It's a dead play, you know. So I'd say that.
We see from their offensive line, they got a all Big 12 center coming back. Zach said that a lot of the schemes that they do try to help them get leverage on you. What do you see from them?
I see two pretty big tackles that are pretty good players. I could tell they try to set a particular way that allows for their quarterback to feel when he needs to escape and stuff. So definitely got to be disciplined in our pass rush lanes and all that stuff.
You mentioned Holstein and Amora being similar mobile quarterbacks to Daniels. What makes Daniels different? What does he do well that maybe distinguishes him from others? What makes him unique?
I would say I think he does look down the field more than people think. You know, he's not a run immediately. I feel pressure. He wants to see the field and see if someone's open before he takes off.
Braden, in practice, I don't know how much good you guys do, but have you seen that 9 offensive lineman formation they use in the goal line?
No.
So you haven't?
Thank goodness. Yeah, thank goodness.
Hey, and just as a defensive player, like, how much of a handful is that, do you think?
It's a lot of meat. I think that's if you're not prepared for that, you haven't seen that on film. I mean, that's tough.
All right, thank you, Braden.
Thank you guys.